Here we are, lovely London evening. You might look at us and say, why we all in sweater? And all it's going to be much better as we go along. Today was a slightly windy day. Great to have DK back again.
Asha, I'm coming from Chennai. Even inside the fridge, it's not this cold. So yeah, the big jumpers are out. I needed to pack all of this before I got here.
Yeah, but the forecast is very good. So it's not going to be a wintry World Test Championship final. All the discussion, DK, all the discussion is about who's going to play. Three main areas.
Okay.
Are you going to play 2 spin, 3 seam, or are you going to play 1 spin, 4 seam? Who's going to be your wicket keeper and who's going to be your third seamer? So let's start with...
And we're talking about India, right?
We're talking about India. Because for them, there's no problem. There's only one spinner to pick from largely anyway.
So, from India, look, the main deal breaker when it comes to choosing 11, obviously, is the pitch and the conditions. The conditions...
You saw the pitch?
I saw the pitch today. I did. This
Green.
much. How much is
Green.
this, Harsha? 9 right now.
This actually is much more.
So that's
they
how
said they're going to bring it down to 6. What is the difference? 9-6.
So let me tell you, the pitch as we see, I in fact put out a picture on Twitter as well. It's got a proper live grass covering, but if you do see closely beneath it, it's brown with a lot of dead grass, and they've rolled it quite extensively in the last 1.5 months because they've been playing a lot of county cricket. Now, why they need to have this amount of live grass is for 2 reasons. One is to make sure the pitch is well bound and held together, not only for this match but going forward towards the whole season as well. Oval as a ground has pitches throughout the square. Generally in grounds there'll only be like 6-7 pitches, but in oval there's about 20 or 23. I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And that means the ball will travel very quickly to the boundary.
Absolutely. It's a batting paradise. It's like what Eden Gardens is to India. The outfield is absolutely lightning. So with this amount of grass, coming back to your question, I have a strong feeling Team India is as bad as I'm going to say, leave out Ashwin and play 4 medium pacers.
474 wickets, but to rival
Don't taunt me, Harshana. This is what I think they will do.
I tell you, the good thing
want
is,
them to do.
The good thing is it's 2 of us and Ashwin is not here. Otherwise, he'll have all his theories ready.
I'm going to go for dinner with him. I'm never going to open up this topic about how this pitch is. I'm going to maintain it like how I look brown, and maybe he will play, God knows.
Yeah, but I mean, there's been 3 matches played so far. A lot of grass, early conditions, not as bright as is likely to be, but 1 wicket has gone to spin. I mean, he might tell you that at the last WTC, it was very cold, it rained, whatever. He did a really good holding job. I think 25 overs, he gave 45, 2 wickets, whatever.
I really enjoyed watching Ashwin bowl in Southampton. But is the coach going to do the same thing again? I really doubt it.
Okay, so let's work on the principle that you're picking 4.
Who are my 4?
Who are your 4?
You always love putting me on the spot, but anyway, I'm going to answer it.
Siraj, Shami.
They pick themselves.
But those 2 have to bowl really well.
Okay.
Siraj, Shami. Now, if there is no Ashwin, Shardul has to play. With his batting there.
Yes.
Now, that leaves Unadkat or Umesh. Umesh at KKR, I saw him closely. I chatted with him. He said thoda hamstring was tight. And he never played after that. So, he's not got a lot of cricket behind him. Unadkat's played a lot of first-class cricket for Saurashtra. Brings a left-handedness in.
So, I went to practice yesterday and saw the boys practicing. And from whatever I spoke, apparently Umesh Yadav has bowled really well in the nets. He's looking sharp, he's looking good, he's feeling good body-wise. And I have a strong feeling they're going to go with Umesh.
Who's going to keep wickets for you? Because there's 2 factors to it. If you're playing 4 quicks, your keeper standing back doesn't need the same degree of skill as when the ball is turning, standing up. Can you play the better batter? Because you're looking at batting plus keeping equal to total contribution. So maybe with KS Bharat, little more keeping, little less batting. With Ishan Kishan, maybe little more batting.
True.
Ishan Kishan not played a lot of first-class cricket in recent times. KS Bharat has batted 4-5 consistently in first-class cricket for his state side. So putting all the things up there, you're the keeper.
I would go for KS Bharat only because of continuity. I think he's played 4 test matches against Australia, and I do think
in difficult conditions.
One more opportunity. He played a couple of, I don't know, for a lack of better word, cute innings. He just got 25-30, but he looked good. Yes. He did try. He kept really well in the series, and I do think this could very well be a game changer for him this game. He needs to find a way to contribute with his bat a lot, because when it comes to keeping, I do think Ishan can do as good a job as KS Bharat in these conditions, only because he's going to keep a lot more fast bowlers. And you're absolutely right when you say that there's not going to be too much hard work on the keepers, apart from the fact that it does wobble a bit, so it takes a bit of skill keeping in England. Though I feel Ishan Kishan will be pretty good even with the gloves. but just pure continuity. I think the fact that you've given 5 games is a lot more fairer. I know it's a World Test Championship final, and also I feel it's hard on Ishan Kishan to come straight away and play a final, whereas for KS Bharat, he's been part of the test team. They've been grooming him for this for some time now, being the second keeper, so give him the opportunity.
Now, every time you think test match cricket, you think Virat Kohli, and I know that in the last test match cycle, he's actually only averaged 32. So if Rishabh Pant was around and you'd played your first choice 7 with Rishabh Pant and Jadeja, all in your top 7 with Shreyas Iyer batting at 6 in place of Rahane on this team, Virat's numbers would actually have been the lowest. But if Virat plays well, that whole side just gets lifted up like that. Who's the batter the opposition is most worried about? They will say yes, Rohit Sharma. They will say yes, whatever. They're actually worried about Virat Kohli taking the game off. And if it's not swinging around too much, he plays pace and bounce better than anybody else. And you saw him close. He was batting well towards the end of the IPL.
He batted well right from the start. First game he got a 70 against Mumbai Indians. He was looking top notch.
Yeah.
And right at the back end of the IPL, he showed his class. The 200s that he got were phenomenal. I mean, he's batting brilliantly, and I'm very sure he'll have a good score. Though, having said this, for me, the key for India to do well in this final, and if they want to cross the line, it's going to be Cheteshwar Pujara. Cheteshwar Pujara, Harsha. One of your favorites?
No, I love him as a person. That cannot come in the way of looking at him as a batter, but I love him as a person. He said something interesting to me. He's played a lot of cricket at Sussex. He's played a role of great responsibility because he's head and shoulders above everybody else in that
He's captained as well.
He's captained, but he's batted at 4. He said, when the ball is moving around a lot, your best batter bats at 4. I'm happy to bat at 3, but he's played a lot of cricket. And the one thing you can never doubt with Pujara is he's 100% there. You can hit him 10, 20 times. He will not move. He will stay there. And I remember with Australia, I think on the 2018 series, some of the Aussie bowlers actually said to him, we've seen more of you than our partners. And one Aussie bowler came up to him and said, aren't you tired of batting? No, but Pujara, if Pujara does well, I still think though that the new ball is absolutely critical, playing and bowling the new ball. If Rohit and Gill can get them off to a good start, they protect the middle in that sense.
And having said that, Rohit and Gill must admit, in this test match, I think a crucial factor is going to be the toss, because the team that wins the toss will definitely look to bowl first, and on the first day there will be quite a bit for the medium pacers, for the fast bowlers rather.
So you're saying put them in?
100%. And the team that wins the toss will have a distinct advantage in this game.
So put them in and try and bat as much as you can day 2, day 3, build it up. And even here, day 5 is not like it's day 5 in India. Day 5 is not unplayable. And if you look at the stats, first innings, second innings, third innings actually produces a lot of runs. But if you bat well and deep in the second innings, then you're building the advantage. What about Australia? You know, they've come with very little cricket behind them, most of them.
Yes.
A lot of Indians have come with a lot of IPL behind them. Ricky Ponting said on a program we did that he'd rather played some cricket rather than none. Pat Cummins said, but we are fresh and ready to go, and the break did us good. Where do you stand on Australia's preparation for this?
It's a bit of a catch-22 situation, and I say that only because with these days, with the amount of cricket that's played, sometimes you can't miss much. And IPL is a heavy-duty tournament. It's arguably one of the toughest tournaments to play, because any team on any given day can beat another team. So the pressure that goes along when you land up for a game is very different. Even when you play a World Cup, sometimes you can go into a game knowing that you have the upper hand on a certain team, whereas in IPL it's very hard. So mentally it takes a massive toil, and because of that, I feel that the Indian team will have to use every ounce of their energy. And Test cricket will take a lot of your mental energy when you play those tough knocks, long knocks, when you're bowling those spells late in the evening, when you have to give it that push. Sometimes it can be hard.
Okay, one last thing before we finish. Edge to Australia, edge to India in these conditions?
I think as of now, I would say Australia has the slight upper hand.
But you know how it is? When India play Australia, they always bring that A game. There's something about India versus Australia. Last 4 series 2-1, but last 4 first test 2-2. This is going to be fantastic, and DK and me are going to be with you every evening after play on Cricbuzz channel.